Jack Butella with Jill DeWitt.
Hi.
Welcome to our Thursday call. Give us a, please, audio members, please give us yeah, that's what I'm looking for. Thank you,
Yay.
Nick. Thank you, Kyria.
Cool.
Hey, welcome to welcome to the show. Welcome to the Thursday call. Today's theme, because I'm getting tired of answering this question, is what are the other ways that you can use the program? How do you guys use it? How do you guys? What's going on in Santa Barbara? What's the deal with those large ranches that you're buying and selling?
hmm
It's limitless. It's almost limitless the way that you can use this data the way that we have it set up. So
hmm
that's the theme. Please, I think there's couple of questions in here, Jill, already. Um, if you want to go ahead and read it, let me know.
Are we doing it from the chat area or are we doing it from the other area
Oh
last
darn,
time?
yeah.
Hey, hold please. Um, I'm watching for that. Bear with us, folks, because I love last time we had that questions.
Yeah,
Jack's turning that
this
back
is
on.
set up the old school way, so we're just going to have to go with it.
Okay, we're going to do the old school chat way.
Yep.
Okay.
In the chat.
Okay, so
Just copy and paste your questions in the chat.
Exactly. All right.
Thank you for reminding me. I'll rectify that this next call, next week.
Yes, you got it. Um, I'm looking here.
I
Oh,
have one here.
well, we have one. I have the meetup. Oh, we have one before I joined. Okay, good.
Want me to read it?
Yes, please.
Michael says, what is required when attempting to buy property from a widow who's on the deed with her husband, but he's passed away? What's required when the children inherited the property, but the deed does not have their name on it? This is a good question. Comes up, quite honestly, a lot. And the answer is way more complicated than it would suggest. You'd think logically, somebody passes away and they have a will that says I give all my stuff to my kids equally, and then that's it. But a lot of stuff's got to go on. It has to be probated, and then the asset has to go through. It depends. It really depends on the state that it's in. Sometimes you can do what's called a simple probate and get the asset into the kids' names, but very often it's a lot more complicated than that and requires an attorney or a title. A lot of times in some states, most states, title won't touch it. So to answer your question, expediently, you're really going to have to research where the state is, which state or county the property's in. The first person I would call would be the county recorder, and they're going to say we can't give legal advice, and you're going to say, I know you can't give legal advice, but can you give me a name of a couple of real local attorneys that I can speak with so I can solve this?
Mm-hmm.
And that's how I would approach it.
I like that answer.
How you doing back there?
I'm good. I'm really good. So,
do you agree?
Yeah,
well,
absolutely.
How is this going to be an interesting show if you agree with anybody? If you agree
Oh,
with
don't
everything?
worry. I will come up with some things, Jack. I'm still. I'm curious how many people are still laughing out loud because I got so many comments from the money. What was the thing?
Press a button and money smacks you in the face.
That's the one. So I was wondering how many people really, that was really good. I don't remember who's Tom. Tom sent a message on that the other day. That was hilarious. Thank you for sharing that, Tom. Tom said he was in where he was listening to it in the room. People came running to see what he was laughing at so hard out loud, and that was so good that he shared that with us. So very, very cool. All right, so I'm caught up now to Nick's question about a meetup in March in Scottsdale.
Okay.
So, Nick, Jack has.
I'm going to disagree with this. I'm sure this will be fun.
Well, I had it all ready to go, Nick, but Jack has put that on hold due to all of these products and tools, and he just is needed to be around for that. Not that he couldn't do 2 hours on a Tuesday, but I'm just kidding.
If you're dying,
can't give us 2 hours on a Tuesday, Jack.
If you're dying to fly to Los Angeles and
no, this is going to be in Scottsdale.
In Scottsdale.
I'm gonna do a poll.
Just let us know. Yeah, do a poll. We can't. I have this call set up. I'll tell you what.
I'm gonna do a poll.
We're gonna let everyone decide next week on a Thursday call before we turn it on. Or how do you want?
I'll do a poll. I'll figure it out. Because you know what? Because here's the deal, Nick. I had it all ready to go, and Jack said, "Hold off. I really have some things I need to work on. I don't want to think about this right now." I said, "Okay." So it's kind of ready to go. I have a location. It's not crazy. Even just to do a meetup. It'll be free. So just be a fun, great to do. Basically, do a version of this in person. because that's what our one we did in LA a couple weeks ago. The whole second half was this in person, and I know that everybody got so much out of it. So
They did?
that's what I was told. You're so silly. I know that's true.
Yep, they're real people.
So, yeah, yeah, yeah. It was so cute. There was about one person walked in, and I think I caught him by surprise because I happened to be standing there by the desk talking to one of our girls, and he's like, "Oh, Jill," and I'm like, "Yep." It was really, well, we had a good time. So, I'll let you know, Nick. I might, because you know what, and I got to tell you guys, I'm still working on the big one in November in LA, and I need to put out a poll on that one because there's a lot of I need to see how serious everybody really is
Yeah.
before I really pull the trigger and drop $10,000 on a room and stuff that I'm looking at, because we'll do
It's not
food
the money.
because
I'll do it
right,
if
I just
everybody wants it. That's the whole
exactly,
thing.
that's it. I don't mind, yeah, I don't want a big fancy room for 20 of us. Which, well, actually, that's not bad, but we'll talk about that. All right. So, yes. Okay. So Claire wants to know, boy, let's look at Claire. I'm so proud of you, Claire. Can you tell us about the credit card processing you're going to offer
Hmm.
in the gold? Jack?
Yes, I can. As a, you will be able to process and take credit cards just like any other vendor, whether it's a grocery store or any other e-commerce vendor. We have chosen the company, and they are cutting us a smoking deal. It'll cost for sure less than 3%, closer to 2%. We haven't priced it perfectly yet. And they say they have signed off in writing that they love real estate. They love purchase and sale of real estate. They love taking credit card payments for on payments, on terms payments. So this is the right company, and it's a very large, been around for quite some time company. There's a direct API / plugin into WooCommerce, which is what we all use on our website. So you'll be able to take credit card payments on Landpin itself and on your website if you're using Woo. And if you're not, don't worry, because the conversion is real simple.
Thank you very much.
And we are, I'm going to say, probably
Mm,
30 days away ish, maybe
okay.
45,
Okay.
but not long. Like the deal's signed and everything. We're just implementing it and testing it.
Well, and I thank you I'll fly out for a meeting. I appreciate that. So,
Who's that?
um, it's Samsung SM. I don't know who that is. So if you want to say hey, so we know who you are, that would be great. Um, so I don't know, but they are gonna fly out. Okay, so that's good. Well, and Jack, before I jump in here with another one, because I have a question about this. I just had a call with a really nice guy named Jeff who happens to be in the Valley, Phoenix Valley area, and he is just looking. He's way into this. He's been doing this business, and he needs cheaper data, and he's subbing stuff out to a VA somewhere else. He goes, you know what? We were laughing about it. You think you're saving money. He goes, right. Even if I get the data another way, and then I send it to a VA, I spend $4 to $5 an hour. Big deal having a VA scrub it. It's still not exactly what I want. I can't do it. And so
That's the Park McCluskey methodology.
well, it's okay. He wants offers to owners, and I said I try. So he might be on the call. I don't know. If you are Jeff, hi. I'm asking because I want to see. Are we 60 days out? Where are
So offers
we?
to owners?
Uh huh.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Okay. Are we
Probably
less
less
than
than
60
that.
days?
Yeah.
Okay. Because I wasn't sure if it was one of the end of the March
Yeah.
goals or if it's an end of April
Here's what
goal.
happened. What was, we, everyone will get very, very soon a dashboard within days that where you can, in a land investors dashboard and all the products that we're releasing, you'll log into the dashboard, whether it's on your phone or on a computer, and you'll see the progress of all of these products.
This is for someone who's not a member.
Right.
So this is what I'm talking about because we probably have several on this call right now.
So here's the thing. If
Mhm.
there's a green level membership, which is free, and you get the same exact dashboard that all levels of membership get, except the stuff will all be turned on. So, hey, it's nice to
Oh.
talk to you about this stuff, by the way.
Oh, when is
So
that available?
it's like you own half the company. It's not like you own half the company or
Well,
anything.
I just don't get to go to all the meetings. When's that one coming?
So anybody who signs up for what will be land investors at Success Plant now gets a dashboard. They get a dashboard just like everyone else.
Oh.
It's coming. I mean, it's done.
Is it like
I had to talk to you
2
about
weeks
releasing it. No,
away?
it's days away.
Okay, cool. All right. All right. Well, that's one step closer. So, okay, good. All right. Thank you very much. So hopefully
That's what's
less than
been
60
holding
days.
back all the front end websites are easy.
Okay.
It was that back end piece that is now complete and tested and awesome.
Okay. Okay, cool.
Hmm.
Thank you. Hey, good job, David. Today's pull the trigger day. All set up so the 1,500 mailers going out. All right. Hold on to your hat. So that's going to be great. Nick asked, is it redundant to get title insurance if you receive the deed as a warranty deed? How much extra protection do I get with title insurance? Awesome question.
Go ahead.
You know, there's no, how do I say this? There's a mindset out there for insurance, period.
Oh, I like where this is going.
So regardless of the property value, having that just, and sometimes not it's included in the transaction, just that you purchased with title insurance. So they know by the time it got to you, it had title insurance, and they can see that adds value. So when you really sit and read the title insurance policy and what they cover and not cover, it can be comical because you think you're getting a lot of coverage that you're actually not getting. There's a lot of exceptions and things in there. Sometimes I've seen somewhere it's almost like, wait a minute, the way I read this, they're only covering that the signature of the guy that signed really means it's the guy that signed. Have you noticed that, Jack?
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, so what am I getting? So they are doing their due diligence / however, they're not going to come bail you out financially. Correct me if I'm wrong, Jack.
Well,
up to a certain level if there's something that's
there's case law and all this stuff. There's a lot of historic examples where it worked and didn't work. But if you're, can I answer now, or do you want to finish?
well, cool. Yeah, let me answer the question, then I'm gonna
Yeah,
let you see if we
okay.
agree. Okay, so here's my thing. Is it redundant? No, I don't think it is redundant. I think it's a different thing because just because of the warranty deed, you still got to track this. That person may or may not, just because they did a warranty deed doesn't mean that they really did all the due diligence that they should before the property got to you. And are you really going to find them and track them down and go after them for something? I don't know. So I just look at it like it's part of the deal. It's, for me, it's if there's a problem and I'm not comfortable, I'm doing it. Or if I really want to add some extra value, I'm doing it. I mean, those are the reasons that I do it. I don't think of it like extra protection unless there's a big red flag. Then I do, because I know that there's the proper people are looking at it. Does that make sense, Jack?
Yeah, here's the thing. You can't get any financing on property without title insurance. So there's that. You can't, if you're bored one day, pull out an existing policy that you have, even one for your house. In fact, your house would be the most fun. And read the Schedule B exceptions. Every policy that I've ever seen has a Schedule B exception. And it's a crack up what's in there. My favorite Schedule B exception is access. We do not insure if the property has any access. We do not insure against any events that may have occurred within the chain of title that were not recorded.
Right. See, there you go.
But that's why I'm getting title
That's why I'm
insurance.
getting title
I'm trying to
insurance.
insure myself against the unknowns, not the stuff that we all know.
We're not going to insure against any
So,
liens that might still be out there.
I don't want this to become a rant because Jill and I actually agree on this. It's really silly. Like most
Yeah.
insurance, it's an awful racket. But you need it. You need it because we all grew up listening to people tell us that you need it. That's why you need it.
Exactly.
What's the next question?
You're welcome, David. Thank you.
It's a good question, by the way. It's tough to answer without philosophizing.
Well, this is perfect because Rodney's next question is, how's it going with cheap title insurance? Everyone
I got
this is good.
I got it back.
Do anyone have a
It
go-to
is.
in Arizona? So
Yes.
I'd like that. Yeah, please.
We have successfully cut a deal with Data Trace, which is the largest title plant in the country. It's owned by First American. So not even with First American because their rates were too high. I went deeper and found out where they were getting their title insurance, and it's Data Trace.
Right.
So we've cut a deal. I'm waiting for the contract to come back, and that will be released via Title. What's it called? TitleMind.com?
Yes, TitleMind.
TitleMind.com.
I was looking at that today.
Relatively soon. Well, within 60 days. It's not the other stuff. The spatial try to find a property in Texas product will be the first one that's released, and we're within very soon with that.
Mm-hmm. Hey, this is a great one. Luke asked. I got a legal description with the west half, the southeast quarter of the southwest quarter, comma. The east half to denote the comma. Can I sell them separately? Do we have two
That's
APNs?
the question. I used to say, I haven't said it in a while, what you're buying are a set of APNs. Forget about the fact that it's real estate. You're buying a list of APNs. And the more that if you can take one APN and make it 15 APNs, now you're like basically creating money.
Right. Well, and the question is too, is this, as long as you know it's two separate properties, and the answer is yes. So for example, I might buy 5 properties from one little old lady that they're all in the same county, and I put all 5 of them on the same deed. Absolutely. And then, so then I put them in my name, one deed. I only had to pay to record it once, and all her grantor name was all perfectly the same, so that works out great. So now it's all in my name. Now, can I go out and sell one by one by one
Yeah.
by one by one? Absolutely.
You know what, Luke? I did a deal like this where what happened was I bought, it was a property that somebody consolidated. So a lot of years ago, it was, let's say, I don't know, it was like a 60-acre property. And then somebody bought it. And then this is before the hardcore subdivision laws that we have now. They cut it all up into APNs, the ABCD thing. And then it was all put back together. So I called the county and said, hey, can we just undo this since it's already all done? Can we just, and they said yes. So I would, with the comma thing, I would call them and call the assessor and ask them.
Mm-hmm. Awesome.
Try to make sure they're in a good mood.
Cool. Blake said, here's the deal I have going. 3 names on the deed, 3 siblings. One is deceased. How do I proceed to buy? You pass to the next one and then circle back around. Just kidding. I don't know. Okay, this is, well, okay, wait, hold on a moment, Blake. There's a couple things you need to think about. 3 siblings, if somebody did this right, and they are joint tenants with rights of survivorship, then you're in good shape, because the other 2, you don't need, you check with the recorder, but you probably have to send in a copy of the death certificate, maybe an original copy of the death certificate to prove number 3, but has passed on. But then you're in good shape. You want to add to that?
Yeah, I'm going to do a little thing here while Jill takes the next question, and I'm going to, because this is coming up a lot, and it's with new people, and it's because we haven't talked about it. So I'm going to answer the question fully. Go ahead.
Okay, cool. Luke said, I got a legal description of lot 101, 102, 103, etc. Can I sell them separately? So if they're separate APNs again, because it could be one APN for 3 lots. Now you got to split them up. But if they're really, like I was just saying, I bought lot 102 in the subdivision, lot 103 in the subdivision before, and if you look them up, they're all separate APNs, then you are good to go. It just was one transaction. So cool. Nick said, I'm getting positive feedback on my second mailer. I have someone who wants to sell me their property. I offered $6,000 for the 20 acres. They are heavily wooded. The assessor shows the parcel is classified as designated forest land and gives you the assessed value of $300. Awesome. Why would this be so low? The lowest comp I can find is $20,000. Totally normal.
This is absolutely normal.
This is
what you're looking for.
Mm-hmm. Nothing happened to the property. Jack and I just talked about this. Nothing's happened to the property. Probably hasn't sold in 50 years. So nothing's happened to the property to trigger the assessor to even go look at it and reassess the value.
Yeah.
This is great.
That's right, Jill. Wow.
I do listen.
Hey, if you kiss a super pretty girl, what do you ask yourself? Like, well, that's never going to happen again. What a fluke. That's never going to happen.
Why is she kissing me? There must be something wrong.
Must be something wrong with her. She's mentally ill. She looks good, though. Do you ask yourself that, or you go celebrate?
Yeah, I celebrate. This is
celebrate.
Great.
You film it if you can.
Yes, that's awesome, awesome, awesome. All right. Steven asks, hey, Jack, regarding the high-end ranch strategy. Oh, good. How often do you encounter properties with existing structures? And how does that change the nature of the transaction for us as land investors?
Yeah, Steven and I had an awesome call on Wednesday. He's knocking it out of the park in Texas, just knocking it out. And he's expanding his operation now. Like his wife is cut. I hope I'm not saying too much stuff. Great. His wife just cut her hours at work. He's a model.
As long as you don't get too they're just now pregnant. We're not telling the family. No, just kidding. I'm just kidding.
Actually, he told me his age, and if they're pregnant, it's a miracle.
Oh.
I don't know. Maybe his wife's 21, but he's not
Yeah,
for sure.
right. Oh, good.
So
Get him,
anyway,
Steven. You get
um,
him.
yes, the answer is yes.
Yeah.
There are very often structures on the ranch, and when you get into 200-300 acres into the like Santa Barbara type ranches, like where Michael Jackson used to live and where Oprah has a house and stuff. When you get into that, if the older ranch houses, that they don't affect the value at all, in my opinion. You're really just buying the dirt. That's kind of the
Mhm.
way it is here in Los Angeles. A lot of places too.
Exactly.
It's the dirt value because you can put a structure up. When you put a structure up for $100 to $120 a foot on a 200-acre ranch in Southern California, that's tens of millions of dollars. It's just an insignificant amount. You put it to 3,000 square foot, 4,000 square foot ranch house. It's $300,000 or $400,000 against 200,000. It just doesn't matter.
Mhm.
So, yes, the answer is yes. And I price them exactly the same way. And I say
Mhm.
it right in there. We're not here to buy a house. We're here to buy the land.
Exactly.
A lot of times they'll keep the house. If it's a separate APN and it's like if you picture a farm in the Midwest where usually the farmhouse is right on the road, and then the acreage that's being farmed is in the back. It's very almost all in all situations that I've ever been involved in. It's real easy, and the county's very liberal about carving out that little piece of property and making the land different than the house because they get assessed really differently. You don't want to have an improvement value on 6,000 acres. You want to have an improvement value on a quarter acre where the structure is, and then
Bingo.
unimproved value on all the other stuff. They understand that.
Like the property Nick found.
So if you see a ranch and they're smack in the middle, it has a house and it's not a separate APN, that's really unusual.
Mhm. Thank you. I got a lot of we'll come out to the meeting, we'll fly out to the meeting. Even Jean says I hate LA and I'll come. Thank you. Keep going here. Claire, good. Definitely want to take credit cards online. Oh yes, we're working on that. Hi, good. Hey Jeff, I'm glad you're here. Um, cool. We have another JD on here. That's not me. I love it. Rodney, in one sentence, what is the application process or requirement? Because I thank you for clarifying this because for Jack. In one sentence, Jack, what's the application process or requirements for the new merchant account application?
Oh, it's the very, very typical PayPal stuff.
Thank you. Stop.
Yeah, they don't take your blood or anything.
Okay, good. The dashboard is for members. Yeah. Okay, so here I'll back up real quick for you, Rodney. So what our team is doing under Jack's direction is there'll be a dashboard period, even for the green people who are like kind of free. I love what you're doing there on screen. That's hilarious, Jack. So your sentences. Oh my gosh. So even the green people, and that's just so they can access success plan and then see what's coming kind of thing and then be in the loop. So
There are
cool.
a couple people that are very active in Success Plant who are not involved with our group at all. They've had a lot of success using other data types. They're incredibly good at buying data from a county and parsing it out and all that. And so there's a place for those people
Mhm.
with us. We don't. This is not a country club where you have to. It's not a. It's not. What are those? It's not a co-op. It's not a co-op where we have to vote everybody in. If you don't want to pay, you
Where
can
did
still
that
be in
come
here.
from?
Because remember we looked at that co-op
I
recently.
know.
We're
I don't
like,
think it was a co-op. We don't know.
yeah, we don't.
We don't. It might have. You know what? I bet it was.
I'm
Now that
not.
you
This
think
is
about
beyond the scope of this call,
it.
but
Okay.
if you don't know what a co-op is, it's like what Fraser Crane lived in, where everybody that lives in the building or in the subdivision has to vote in. You interview the person that they sold their house or somebody passes away and the thing's for sale. You have to get the approval of all the little old ladies that live there that are stuck in their ways.
You know what? I think Land Academy is kind of a co-op, but I think it's good. Just kidding.
I mean, it reeks of. I'm not going to say it.
I'm
It's
teasing.
just an old
Way of doing
concept. Yeah.
things. Yeah. All right. Good job. The JD, who's a different JD, pulled 5,000 records last night. Nice. All right. Chip asked, have you seen a pattern Once the mailer hits, oh yes, of strong hate the first couple of weeks before the sellers
Oh yeah.
appear. Or is it completely random when the sellers come out of the wood and work and the hate slows down?
Good question.
Eh,
The hate precedes the success.
uh-huh. That's usually the phase that, and I tell you, and Luke Smith's a great example of this because, 6 months later, he's feeling these sellers still coming up. And it's going to happen for years.
We get calls every day from stuff that we sent out in 04, 03, 02, but we don't ever get any hate calls on those old mailers.
This is true. They're not going to say, "Oh yeah, by the way, I
By the
meant
way,
to
I'm
call
still
you
a little
2 years
pissed."
ago. I just found it. It crumpled up behind the fridge.
There's some wives who they might hold a grudge that long. Schedule a
Oh,
call out 16 years.
oh,
I remember that letter you sent to me, Steve.
silly.
When your name used to be Steve. Remember me?
We did have that one that lady said, and by the way, who taught you like your handwriting or something? It was really funny. It was like a little lady school teacher. It was really cute. Good job, Katrina. Finally pulled the trigger. I sent my first mailer 3 weeks ago, 1250. Nice. I received 14 calls, all no, except one. And the one yes wants full retail value. That's funny. Is this normal? It doesn't sound like the response that others have said they've received. Okay, so it was 3 weeks ago. I have more questions.
Go ahead.
No. I have not for you. I have more questions for Katrina that I
Yeah.
don't know if you want to ask, because I want to get detailed about it and see about the area. I really could want to know more about, I don't know if you want to share anything about the area and how you priced them. So
Yeah.
that's where I'm at. So we can circle back around. So yeah, the Q&A thing too, by the way, Katrina, it's not turned on for this call today, so you're doing everything right. We're doing the chat thing. So you are perfect. Yeah, and thank you, JD. You said check your pricing. I'm wondering, that's what I'm wondering. There may be something off with your pricing.
Yeah.
So that's my first thought. I priced based off a third of the average lowest price on LandWatch. Okay, I'm liking that.
That's good.
I use a third because it allowed me to double my money plus take into account any possible closing related costs. I like that.
So, like, what was the price per acre that went where that it went out?
Mhm.
And which did you use the purchase agreement that we try to stick to?
I'm wondering what other things might be attributing to this, and I'm happy to help. I'm gonna keep going down here. Another question about gold. What is yoursite.com? Are you going to be hosting web pages, Jack?
Yes, but do not delay doing starting your site. The answer is yes. Our lead tech guy owns a company called Rumspeed, and that's his business. So we are in the process of his team is actually in the process of creating templates that you can choose, like to really reduce the cost and the speed and reduce the time that it takes to get a website up. He's going in the process of implementing pre-made websites where you just upload your logo and you can choose like 6 different styles and it's already hosted and everything. Literally, it just takes minutes to do it.
Isn't there a lot of that too, Jack? Because that way we can link the credit card payments really easy.
Yeah, because in the end, all of our, you can obviously choose to do this or not do it, but we're going to link your website to all the other stuff so that you press a button from your own site and post it everywhere. Zillow, Trulia, all of it. That's not going to happen anytime soon, but that's the whole, in the end, that's the point to all this, to make it easy so you don't have to have FTEs. That's what all these, by the way, if you're brand new, that's what these membership levels are all about. It's not, these membership levels aren't designed to make us more money. In fact, we don't make very much money at this stuff at all. These membership levels are designed to have you spend money on the resources we're already spending money on, like people and databases and stuff. So you don't have to have your own, you don't have to have a huge staff. Nobody wants a huge staff. It's 2017.
Well, it's like everything we've done right now. When we sit and add up Title Pro and CoreLogic and all, and then
it's $2,000 a month.
Right. It's all cheaper. We're cheaper as a group than we are individually, period.
What you get for $250, this is not a sales pitch.
Yeah.
Most of the people on this call are already with us, and they came to this conclusion on their own. What you get is worth about $2,000 a month.
Okay.
That you get for $250.
Thank you. I
And
agree.
that's like hard money. That's excluding like the advice on this call and stuff.
And so that's our goal is as you go up on these levels and things, it's taking more of the work off your plate as you're doing more and more deals and bigger deals. So to free you up to do more deals and bigger deals.
Yeah. So the gold level membership, which we're going to release here, it's designed to be it's designed for people have virtual assistants and or
Their
one or
own
two people
staff.
employed, and they can do away with them.
Hmm.
So
Or
you spend X in a subscription amount, and it's less than half of what you would spend with people.
or the wife is saying, if you
Yeah.
don't spend some time with me.
Yeah. Or the wife is working with you
Yeah.
and she's saying, if we don't stop working together.
Yeah. Don't know what that's
I mean, I
about.
only read a book about that.
Yeah.
I've never experienced that personally. I've
Nope.
only read about it.
Nope. Oh gosh. Okay. This is for you, Jack.
That's our next business, by the way, how to work with your spouse.
And I'm going to preface real quick on this one, IK, because we did a whole call on this, and I know you can go back and listen to it because Jack did a whole training thing like with images. So I'm going to Jack, you can do the short version here. It's about subdividing a parcel.
Mm-hmm.
Currently have a 320-acre parcel in Nevada. There seems to be some interest in the property, but I'm also getting people asking if it's subdivided. So they want smaller pieces.
Well, that's good.
Exactly.
So what we really do here is we don't subdivide property. Subdivisions are when huge companies like Toll Brothers pull in what's called entitlements, and then they put roads in and all that. That's a subdivision. What we do is we split parcels. And incidentally, we're going to release a website called parcelsplit.com. So the first step is to call the assessor and ask them how to do it,
Mm-hmm.
or if it's possible. And Jill and I specifically choose counties where we know we can do this. We have that conversation before we send the mail out.
Mm-hmm.
And I've gotten reports back from people in our group and out of our group that have said, man, this county's awesome and it's the easiest thing ever. All I did was file a $50 fee, and rewrote the descriptions and took a picture of some squares on a piece of paper, called it a plat map, and that was it. It ranges from that to we stopped doing that in 1954.
Mm-hmm.
So you need to find out. You got to go, you really have to sweet talk the assessor, planning and zoning.
Actually, right here, I would say Luke shared in on some of this too,
Okay.
that he's been calling the assessors in multiple states with this exact question. So thank you everyone for even jumping and helping each other. Found
Yeah.
more sales in the land I already own. Yep. So far, they haven't turned me down. They just create new
Wow.
APNs when I get it recorded.
Luke's got some kind of weird, strange luck.
Magic touch. I love it. Lowest average is about 2,000 for 5 acres. I'm not sure where you guys are going with this one. 47 already split just in one APN. Buy in one APN and sell in multiple ones. Yes. You guys are all, I guess we're not needed. I'm just kidding.
That'd be great.
You guys are all, this is exactly what's supposed to be happening. Everybody's helping each other. Cody asked, have you ever used the tax default list process in Washington State? My understanding is that it is illegal to use a list for any commercial purpose.
I don't know anything about that.
Tax default list.
So it's probably, I'm going to guess, but it's the list of property that's in a tax default status, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it's illegal to use it for commercial purposes. Well, commercial purpose to me would mean all these people owe back taxes. I'm going to send them a letter and see if they need some bankruptcy. I'm a bankruptcy attorney. I want to see if they want to file bankruptcy. That's commercial purposes to me. Do you want to sell your property to me? I would argue that.
Yeah, I would too. I'm an investor. I want to buy it from you.
Yeah, I want to solve your problem. I don't want to. Yeah.
Exactly.
Well, the answer is then. First of all, what? I got snookered there. Why are we talking about tax defaulted property, Jill?
It was a question in here. I'm just following along.
Don't concentrate on tax defaulted property.
And so I was answering Cody's question, but which is true. We don't want to be looking on just those lists. You know what? Because we've all done that, been there, done that.
Investment. This is a wrong investment webinar if you love tax defaulted property.
It's just because it's like, again, what's the word I used? I can't think of it right now. But I'm not going to pick one or the other. Well, I'm certainly not going to pick tax default because I don't want a headache. But
That's
but
great.
I'm gonna reach out to everybody who owns a property, and then I'll, if they are behind in their taxes, I'll figure it out and adjust.
Yeah.
That's it.
Hey, I'm
'Cause
aware of the 404 errors, everyone. People are reaching out to us on Success Plan, and thank you very much, by
oh,
the way. The site's being migrated very soon here to landinvestors.com, but that's
mhm.
still no excuse. We'll fix them.
Okay, I've got IKS. I recently pulled a list from a county in California where most of the parcels land use says desert, and there are roads, but not directly to some of the properties. Should I be mailing to this list or look elsewhere? I would. Well, I don't even look at them.
God, look at this. Okay. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Jill.
Oh, it's okay. I don't even, I'll tell you, we don't do any of the research ahead of time. We do it after the fact. So, and does that scare me? Heck no. And especially when you get into this and you see how it goes and ask like, and we've all done these. We've been here for a little while. We have sold properties where you don't have drive right up paved access. And some of them, the road stopped back half a mile over there. And here's the property. So remember, look for the 4As. If when you're starting out, you want all those 4As. You do want access to make it really easy on yourself. So, but down the road, you get going or you find, gosh, it's just a gorgeous property, but boy, everybody, it's a little hard to get to. You need to properly describe it that way. And there's going to be somebody who it sings to. I stopped guessing. Just because I don't want it and it's not next to a mall, you know what I mean? Whatever it is, doesn't mean it's not something that somebody else doesn't want. There's plenty of people out there, and I've talked to them. The more remote, the better. They want to go and get lost. They don't want people to find
That's it.
them. They want to camp and hunt with their buddies. They want four-wheel drive. They want to take their ATVs out there, and with a GPS, and it's a trick to find it, and they think that's cool.
That's exactly right, Jill.
So thank you. All right.
When
Mhm.
for those of you who are a little bit older, when 9/11 happened, so that happened, 9/11 happened, and everybody went security nuts. And well, that was smack in the middle of the time that we were buying. We already started the whole thing, what is now Landpin,
Mm.
and everywhere we went into this rural areas, we were driving around with a box of deeds in the back because there were security crossings, like it's Israel and
Mm.
Palestine, and we had to show that we owned property in the area to get by. So that's a strange way, a long, so funny.
Box of deeds in the back.
I'm not joking.
That's really funny.
This was before Jill.
It's before the phone. You can look it up on your phone and your computer and stuff too, I guess. Okay.
Now that the guys wanted to see the
I wanted to
people
see
that,
the actual,
yeah,
like rolled
had
up with
guns in
a
their hands
with
and
a real
stuff.
stamp on it.
Yeah,
Got it.
because there's a lot of
Like blood on it.
there's international borders around out west here. That's
Mhm.
why. So my point is, that's what people are looking for. They want to stick it, put a deed up in a tiny house or whatever, an RV or something, and just say,
Mhm.
I own it. Get off my property. Here's my shotgun.
Mhm. This is a good question, Mason. Thank you. And I love that someone already chimed in on it. I'm brand new to this concept, about 3 months, and I sent out one mailer batch of 75 letters. What's your number one advice for a newbie? I have to agree with JD, which is when you're testing an area, you want to test it with 1,500. You
Yeah,
want to
my
get
advice is don't send out 75 letters ever again.
right, and don't handwrite them. Do them all. We've got the cheapest, best way on the planet. I mean, what's the price of a stamp? You can't handwrite it that cheap, you know.
Yeah,
So,
and 75 letters, it costs 49 cents anyway.
mhm. So you need to up your numbers because you're not going to get a good response. So that would be my number one advice. Um, let's see here. Question and number two. I know. Right? Can I give my number two
Heck
advice?
yes.
Expect to make some mistakes, like this one, and that's okay. You know what? We learn. That's how you learn. You might overprice. You might overoffer, underoffer. You'll figure it out. And every time we all joke about this too, because it always seems like, oh, I did that wrong, and then I got what'd you get? What did it result? Well, I got 3 out of it. Okay, great. See, so
Yeah.
often stuff you can get good stuff out of it, so that's okay.
Every once in a while, there's a problem with a mailer, and somebody schedules a call with me on Wednesday, and we talk about it. And almost every single time, it relates to really to pricing. 95% of the time, it's pricing. It was all priced wrong. The other time is that, and this literally happened. If you've watched the program, the Cash Flow from Land program, and then you get the program, and you see in the back that there's a Mojave County list. It's a real data set,
Mm-hmm.
and it's the one that I create in Chapter 5. Well, some people buy the program and then they take that data set that I created in 2015 and then they mail it.
Oh, the same one?
The same one.
Oh, from chapter 5?
Yeah.
Oh, that's funny.
And then they wonder why nothing happens.
Ah, got it.
For $100 an acre, even 100.00.
Got it.
So
Times have changed.
the $100 thing is an example. This brings me to the limitless point. If this is limitless, the way that the more get creative,
Mhm.
send it out for $102. So it's a different strange number and
Mhm.
use a calculation.
Or 120, 150, I don't know. Make it I always say make it worth their while. I'm never gonna tell anybody. I've heard people say this, "Oh, tell them just take it off their hands, give it to you." No, no. I wanna make it worth their while. So, when our Mo and Clearly kinda closes deal, thank you, Blake. Jack, I believe Curly can still sell while intoxicated in Mexico.
You know, some
Timeshares what are you doing on the screen that I missed? Timeshares make a fortune down there getting people hammered and then selling them
yeah.
a bunch of weeks they don't need. That's true. Isn't that funny how many times you go to these timeshares and you walk away with alcohol? Great, thanks. Curly needs to wake up and sign. Oh, I
So
love
here's my
it.
point to the Larry Moe Curly thing. When they all bought the property together, they took title to it some way. They took it as, I hope you can see this, joint tenancy up here, community property, tenants in common. There's lots of different ways up here. This graphic was on Success Plan for,
Isn't it?
for
I
quite some time.
I
It,
saw it
it
up
still
there.
is, I thought.
I thought it was there when I looked last.
Long story short, because Jill needs to hear things in sound bites.
I heard that.
You want to take title. You want to buy property from people who have taken it in joint tenants with rights of survivorship, JTROS. There's lots of stuff left over from the 50s where husbands and wives bought it, brothers and sisters bought it, and individuals, a single man bought it. All
An
that stuff is
unmarried
old. Yeah, all
man.
that. All that's really silly, and it complicates these deals. If 3 people own a piece of property, Larry Moe and Curly, 2 of them are dead or one's drunk somewhere. Well, they need to make sure that 2 of them are dead. The one that survives, joint tenants with rights of survivorship, the one that survives can sign on everyone's behalf.
Mhm.
So there's a lot of convoluted ways. And if you all I did was just now was look up ways to take property in Google, you'll find a ton of these charts that title companies use. Um,
Mhm.
that'll show you what to do and why to do it. But trust me, if it's in joint tenants, you're going to have no issues at all. That's the only way we convey property. If Mr. and Mrs. Jones buy property from us, from Joe and I, we deed it to them as Mr. John Jones and Sally Jones, comma, joint tenants
As
with
rights
rights
of
of survivorship.
survivorship. Because I'm doing them a favor.
And even if they say, well, no, but we're married and we want to do it in our houses this way, we want to have it, we talk them out of it.
Mhm. So that's the best way. It really is. Solves everybody's problems.
Yep.
Katrina, okay, so here's a follow-up to Katrina. It was Costilla County in Colorado, 5 acres, $660 purchase price. She used the exact mailer and letter stream. And then we already have Kevin saying, or no, Rodney saying, which is true. Some subdivisions are more desirable than others, and therefore the prices are higher. So yeah, even though you find something, that's so true. This is really I don't want to get technical, like your APN, what we talked about the other day, but because not all of Costilla County is going to be priced the same. And just because you're looking at properties in Costilla County that are worth that price, or so you see them selling for $2,000, let's just say, or whatever it is. So that's why you priced your purchase price at 660. That doesn't mean all of Costilla County 5 acres are like that,
Yeah.
because some are horse property, some are gorgeous, some are not that great.
Let me give their profile of several members that I've spoken with over the last, let's say, month on Wednesday who call me. Some of them call me and schedule a call, believe it or not. They spend $250 to call me and say, thanks, this really worked and I'm doing really well.
Mhm.
And then we get to talking about how maybe we can improve it. Every single one, without exception, has gotten creative. They got creative on the counties that they chose. They got creatives in the states and the areas that they chose. They got extremely creative with the pricing, and all of them, without exception, understand how to use data. They understand data. They understand Excel. This is just a logical light bulb went off over their head, extension of what they already do. So those are basic skills that are required before you're going to be really good at this. I'm not
Mhm.
sure today if Costilla County would not be on my radar if I was going to send a mailer out tomorrow. What would be on my radar would be really creative areas that I don't think anyone's ever heard of or thought about.
Mm-hmm. Thank you.
Yeah.
There's so many counties out there too. I bet true that bums me out when people get hung up on the same areas and trying to recreate stuff. That's the whole point of what we did. That's true. What we did, Jack, you spent a lot of time teaching people how to learn for themselves, find your own
Right.
areas, and how to look at maps and what
Right.
triggers you should look for this to work.
Right.
So thank you. All right. Kevin said seller has 2 properties and agrees to sell. He is now in Canada. Can we get a traveling notary in Canada? Heck yeah.
Can you?
Yeah. Remember the lady remember the lady, she was in Hawaii and then she was in Canada. The property was here. Do you remember that lady? I can't remember her name, but I had to get a notary go to Canada to get her. Sure.
I
I
remember
want to
all
say
the
it was even right
details,
off Notary 123 or
every single, all the details on the buy side and the sell side of more than 15,000 transactions. So yeah. Oh yeah, the Canadian deal. Oh sure,
yeah,
I remember
I
that.
just remember one lady in particular and I did that. Yeah, it was no big deal. It was everything was the same.
I don't even go to work in that building anymore
Oh,
where they do the deals.
that's true. So you silly. Yes. Michael. Okay, wait. You guys are answering your questions. Rodney says, Jack and Jill, I have a line on my letters allowing sellers to counter. Oh, it has worked a couple times and got a good deal.
Wow.
What are your thoughts?
Oh, I
Oh,
want to
I'd
hear
love to
about
get
this.
that.
I want to hear about this.
I would write it. I would write in. Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead.
I would say I would write in an astronomical figuring we'd meet in the middle.
Great on the sell side, not sure on the buy side, but I would like to hear the details of that because we are with Landpin when we release it for with the credit cards and all that. There will be a buy it now offer button. So a buyer will look at your property on Landpin. You're asking $5,000, and you say, click here if you buy it now. Fill the number in, and you'll be able to on the back end when you post the property, the absolute lowest number that you'll take. So if it's $5,000 property, you will absolutely you take 3,500. If they click it, then they have to check out. That's the whole thing. If they click it and make an offer and it's accepted, they have to buy it.
So,
Between you and me, they don't have to, but it sure looks like that. Red lights go off and stuff.
but this is for sellers.
For sellers,
really
man.
interesting. I don't know, because you know what? That goes. I tell you, Rodney, because that comes back to me. It's like I fear that I'm opening up a can of worms. We're going to have too much of a response of everybody sending back a different number, and none of them are anywhere near I would be willing to purchase for. So I'm really good, but it worked a couple times. So here, I wonder. I'm wondering about that one. You know what? I want to see how it goes, Rodney. Keep us posted on that. If you keep doing that, I wonder what could be missed there. Are you?
I'm thinking that it's inching its way toward negotiation.
That's
My answer would be instead of that, but again, he's being creative, so it's work. Maybe it's working for him.
mm-hmm.
So I'm not knocking it at all. I'm just saying personally, my answer would be to spend $1,000 more in mail.
Right. Exactly.
And just get some more stuff signed and
See,
sent
that's the
back.
whole thing. That's it. You know what, Rodney? Because we've got this down all so cheaply that
this is as low as it's going to get. You cannot do this any cheaper.
That I would just send more. I need more deals.
Any way to send offers to owners. If you think you're spending money by getting the kids to lick stamps and stuff, it's still more expensive. So take advantage of it is my point. Let the mail, use it as leverage. Let the mail do the work for you. Not talking on the phone is inefficient. I don't care how you slice it.
Not to me. No, when you're talking to me, I know.
I get something out of that.
I know. Hello.
I get nothing out of talking to a seller. Jeez, Joe.
What? Didn't say that. Okay, we're gonna wrap this up. Just kidding. Gotta go. Just kidding.
It's got hot in here.
Okay. Somebody open a window. Just kidding. This is good. Thank you, JD. Going to a new county. This is never bad. You know what? Whenever you go into a new county, I would check some things out about the county, get some basic info. good. Find out what their recording fees are. See if there's anything
Yep.
special about the
See what their
process.
GIS looks like.
Exactly. See, but that's like,
See if you can
see if
subdivide
you could,
property. We should make a list.
yeah, that's a really good
I will
thing
make a
that
list.
you do. And that's nice because then you get to know the county. And I always have like a cheat sheet running on my computer with that county. So I have all my notes, who I talk to every time for zoning, because you're going to get to know those people, all that good stuff. Okay. Cody did say tax delinquent. Okay. He meant tax delinquent on the tax defaulted. Got it.
Okay.
Yeah. We don't want to mess with just that anyway, Cody.
The only reason that anyone would ever just mail tax delinquent properties is because somebody falsely told them that it's correct to do that. It's not. You're missing 90% of the opportunity. And because they're trying to save money on mail.
Mhm.
If that thought enters your mind about saving money on mail, that's the you're starting down the path of not being successful at this.
Mhm.
Because the return on the investment, that's what this is. It's not an expense, in my opinion. Mailing property and buying data is not an expense. It's an investment.
Mhm.
And you want to maximize your return on investment. And the more that you spend, the more return you're going to get. You just want to learn how to do it correctly, and that's why we provided all this education, including this call.
Mhm. Thank you. So Katrina's still talking about her thing. You know what I think, Katrina, I would do if I were you? I would do a data review with Jack for your next mailer, because I'm figuring like, because some of these things are the little tidbits that you're doing are not crazy. You pulled 5,000 listings. Before I sent, I sorted by assessed
Yeah.
value, did the bottom 25%.
A lot of people schedule calls not to look at their data, but to choose a county. So we said,
That's a
they say
good
I've
idea.
got 9 counties that I think work based on your criteria. Which ones do you think? And we'll take. And sometimes I even say, I'm not sure I'd choose any of these, but let's look at these.
Mm-hmm.
And then they end up changing them.
There you go.
And they never end up on this call saying this didn't work the way that I wanted to.
Exactly.
I'm not selling my call. I'm just saying I want you to be successful. I mean it. I really mean it.
Mm-hmm. So I'm wondering what we're missing. I wonder if there's something missing. So, oh, thank you. Micah's in production is fantastic. I heard Bill Gates say, "Start today, you'll never be ready."
Bill
That's
Gates.
the truth. Bill Gates. What did I say?
Bill Good.
Oh, sorry.
Subconscious.
Got it.
You know what else Bill Gates said that I love?
What?
There's no reason to take a vacation in your 20s. And I really believe that.
I like that too. I think that's great. I'm working on an 11 parcel deal with one seller for my September mailer. Bingo.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Samsung SMG 9220A.
I love that. Oh,
Did you ever marry somebody who
no.
just, you know exactly how to make them laugh and it's the stupidest, silliest stuff?
Oh,
Did you ever marry anyone like that? Not me.
not me. Hey, Albert, he says, I'm thinking about buying a parcel from a brother and sister, both alive. Do they need to own it? No, you don't. That's not a deal breaker, but that's the perfect choice if they did own it as joint tenants with right survivorship. But nah.
If not, I mean, if they're both alive and willing to sign, it
Yeah.
doesn't matter how they take title.
Yeah.
You might have to do a counterparts deed if they live in different parts of the country and the same notary can't do it, but that's easy.
Mm-hmm. Love it. Undiscovered. Rodney says creative county picks. This is interesting. If you pick a county that is undiscovered, wouldn't it follow that no one is buying there either? Not so. I don't think so. You know? In have I found anything that no one's ever really buying anywhere? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I
So,
mean, I
but
don't
that's
think
part of your choice though, too, Rodney. You want to make sure that there are properties for sale in there so you have some comps.
we have a member I think he's on this call, who I did a consulting call with long time ago, months ago, and he picked a state in a series of counties. He lives in the state. He picked a state based on that, and a series of counties that were relatively close to him because he was kind of new. Was kind of new at this, and I'm thinking to myself, and I said to him, I'm not sure it's going to work. But I want you to try it and just see. Now he's killing it. It's in the core Rust Belt of the Midwest, and that's all I'm going to say about it. And and many, many, many people have called me with these ideas, and I'm thinking, And I say it. I mean, I'm pretty transparent about it.
Mm-hmm.
And then they end up knocking it out of the park.
Mm-hmm.
More creative you get, the better. It just has to
Absolutely.
be priced properly. He does not send offers out for $100 an acre. In fact, this guy ended up finding a couple people who own a ton of property, and he's doing multiple deals with them and reselling them immediately.
Mm-hmm. Wasn't it Claire who stumbled across that? Like, Claire was like 30 days in and had this like, uh-oh,
Yeah,
this guy has 500 properties and he's letting me once till I can have them whenever I want, kind of thing. Like, well, see you in a year.
we're attempting to do a mobile home deal with a guy
Uh-huh.
just like that.
Yep.
He had some kind of golden child luck on his first mailer,
Yeah.
and he's not. I mean, I've done 2 calls with him. He's done multiple deals out of one
Mm-hmm.
county out of the first mailer, and he nailed a mobile home, 100 and something unit mobile
Mm.
home park,
Yep.
and the
Awesome.
spaces are
Oh, we gotta hurry.
literally like $400 each for sale. It's amazing.
All right, if you guys are cool, we're gonna try to whip through these questions because we just have a few more minutes here, but we'll see what we can do.
We
Hi,
can go over.
Tom. All right. Rodney says about the counteroffer. Yes, sometimes I get crazy counters. That's what I would think. Sometimes they just want to round up. Well,
Oh,
that's
round up to
fine.
what? The next dollar? That's
Yeah,
great.
that's great. That
This
is.
really intrigues me. This
Mm-hmm.
extra line to write stuff in.
It's very interesting.
I would think
Uh,
people would draw a picture of a hand with the middle finger sticking out
mm-hmm.
sometimes.
Well, and I like what
Here's
Curious
my counter
said.
offer.
Yeah, Curious said, I don't know if I want to put it in their heads that I'm willing to pay a higher
Yeah,
price.
exactly.
So that's where I get it
That's where I
too,
go to with
Curia.
that. Me too.
That's my thought. I'm like, well, this is your price, but I have a line to fill in my own thing. Well, hold on a minute. So that's clearly not your total offer price. So good, good point.
Letter Stream charges 39 cents. Oh, we're not there yet.
Not yet. Good. Oh, this
I
is
don't even know this
nice.
stuff.
Oh, well, this happens anyway. Look at Kevin said, I have people crossing off my offer and writing in their idea of what the property's worth. I have
Yeah,
about 5 of them.
that happens to us
I
all
think
the
it's,
time.
do they add like a 0?
Yes, that's what happens.
I know. Yeah, that's true. We get those. I get those a lot. You think it's worth this? I still don't. I mean, you see, hang in there. People change their minds too. Would you deal with an HOA or a POA or an HOA, residential zone, vacant land area, based on your experience or shy away? Oh, heck yeah. I'm not
Jill
afraid of
loves
those.
HOAs. They're not my
Sure.
favorite. I mean, she doesn't love to
Yeah, Chuck.
live in them, but she loves buying dirt from HOAs. It is for
Sure.
the same reason that she sends them cookies. She's on a first name basis, and they end up
Oh,
selling them property. They end up literally selling her property for like $25 a property just to get it back on the rolls.
exactly. Good. My favorite thing, Chuck, is yes, I love those, and yes, I like those in bulk. And when you like Jack was just saying, you get to know the people at like the homeowners association. I can call them up and say, I've literally bought, chunks of parcels for $50
Hmm.
a parcel, and they wiped out their fees.
We're all really used to bad mouthing landowners associations, HOAs, LOAs. But here's the thing: all the properties in an HOA have access.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of times they have like managed road access where the roads are real nice. You drive right up. So there are some positive things about HOA property.
Mm-hmm. So Michael's using LetterStream to get a one-page letter for 39 cents.
No, and I love the way he's using it. So he buys a property, and then he looks at all the owners right around the property. This is brilliant, and sends them a letter and says, I just let you know, property's for sale for $16,000.
Uh-huh.
You're a logical buyer.
I love
So
it.
you know what, Michael? This sparked the whole thing. So I'm going to call Dave, the owner of Letter Stream, and we're going to implement.
A
I'll get it cheaper than
one-page.
that, and we'll implement some kind of version of that. We're working on the front end. The way that we use Letter Stream is pretty cool now, and they help a lot. But we're working on a front end masterpiece that will allow you to like drag and cut and paste your whole letter and submit the mail merge that way. So when that's done, I will implement this follow up letter scenario, just like you do here with a
Mm-hmm.
button clicking scenario.
Mm.
Thank you very much, actually, Michael. It's outstanding. I learned something today.
Albert, twofold question. Where do I get the last deed in Title Pro 24/7? I know how to do it off the top of my head in CoreLogic, RealQuest Pro. I have to go back. I look at the chain of title in the title report on Title 24/7. So, but the last deed, I have to go look at that again.
The last he means a
Put,
vesting deed.
I know. Put that for me, will you, Albert, in Success Plant, please? Because if I don't get to it, somebody else might beat me there. So, and I can look that up really easy.
Jill and I are building a massive library of every single question that's ever been asked in any venue, and we're putting it on the little buoy. If you notice the buoy down in the bottom below, it's on LandPen and it's functional. And if you click on it, there's just it's a library of information to answer questions like that. So ask away because we will get to every single question.
Yeah, put that in success plan the normal way in a thread, and we'll get to that. Second fold, I just sold a 20-acre. I haven't bought it yet. Isn't this great? Thank you. I just sold a 20-acre. I haven't bought yet, but I have a verbal agreement with a seller. Is this not advisable? Oh gosh, yes. Buying it for $2,500, sold for $7,000. Works for me. I don't have a problem with this. Just be sure you do make sure you do a title the right way and you're collecting money the right way and you're in the middle of the process because it's really you buying it. You're not representing somebody else, kind of thing. But this is exactly how this should go. This is where we talked about, the times that I've sent 2Ds in at the same time because, I sold it that fast, so I tell them, hey, recorder, please record this one first, putting it in my name. And then please record this one second, putting it in this guy's name.
It's the definition of an option.
It's perfect. Feedback on letter stream from Claire. To me, it looks a little more like junk mail because of the extra printing on the outside, and the QR code is on the inside of the letters. Is there any way to get rid of these? Good feedback.
The answer is hell yes.
Do you want Claire to send you a message on that?
Send it to me, or actually, send it to me and I'll get it to the owner.
Email. Thank you, Claire. Email.
Oh, you mean that little code? I know what you're talking about. The little barcode.
Yeah. Okay.
I agree with you. I'll see what we can do.
Anything's possible.
I really think that the post office uses that, and one of the reasons that we get away with why this is so cheap is because the post office has real specific. If we make their life easier, it's way cheaper.
And running it through, so we
My
may
gut
have
tells
to.
me no, but I'll try.
Very good.
And I agree.
About the counter, yes, bingo. I agree with your hypothesis. Thank you. I like talking with people, but I need more efficiency. You got it. Yeah, thank you, Katrina. She's gonna get with you. All right, Michael, is your one-page mailer double-sided? Huh.
No, don't do that.
Yeah.
Don't try to save money on that.
Yeah. Oh, Claire, I can't remember how to schedule data review. Jack,
I'm doing it right now.
Go to FAQ.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, just go to the FAQ on Land Academy, Claire, and there's a click here little thing, and it walks you right through it. It's all good. Unless it's to Tahiti. I don't know what that was, but I'm in on that. Yep, in success planning. Thank you. Oh, Michelle's our Samsung guy.
Oh.
Hi, Michelle. Great. All right. Forgot to change from Samsung to Michelle. Now we got it. All right, we're almost down to the end here. Tim Flood says, question. We have a living sibling wanting to sell but has no will. How to proceed? We can't prove anything. There's no way that if I passed on that my brother, as wonderful as he is,
your brother specifically.
Oh, yes. And my parents are gone and I have no children, let's just say. So this is the scenario. There's no way to prove that he should be the one to step up and sign for my property. It's going to go it's going to go back before that happens. And so, you can't. What? I don't know what to say.
You can't. What the hell was that?
I don't know. I was starting another sentence and I just kind of stopped there. I'm sorry. I'm a little. What do you get those red streaks on your screen? I don't understand that.
I honestly don't either.
Okay, it's really weird. I think it's possessed. So yeah, so we have a living sibling who wants to sell. So we need to have something, Tim, and even proving that they are that they are the successor. That's what I'm trying to say. Or the trustee.
Someone else
something
is doing
like that.
It's pretty funny.
Okay, cool.
Because I have it turned on that someone else can horse around with it.
Oh, okay.
In fact, whoever's horsing around with it, really make it count. Like
put a happy face.
Yeah. Or just try to black it all in like Etch a Sketch.
You're so silly.
This is your time to play Etch a Sketch.
All right, we're almost done here.
Actually, I think it's honestly you.
Getting punchy.
With your little pencil thing.
It's not me. It's not.
Try it.
All right. Wait. No, it's not me. It's me. Who is that?
It's it's a ghost in the machine.
All right. Somebody you have it turned on. This is fantastic. I'd love to
I
know who
obviously have
it
it
is.
turned on.
That's great. Okay, you've officially freaked us out. This is really good.
I thought it was your brother.
That's right. Ah, it's
It's
possessed.
this White House connections.
You're neat.
You know, your brother's security
You're
level, security clearances
you.
probably could get into our machines like
I
this.
bet he could. As a matter of fact. Okay. Um. Anyway, to wrap them up. Okay, some more things about Letterstream. Oh, thank you, Luke. If this, I wonder which. If what's funny about this, I wonder if this is the Luke that I'm thinking of. If it's Luke number one, I know Luke number one started to go down this path and be his own commercial printer basically and get his own
And
commercial
now is
printing license and 5 minutes in said, oh no, this is too expensive, I'm not doing that, and put up for sale the fancy printer that
there's
he
a bunch of
bought.
stuff in his garage that he bought on eBay.
Exactly. So but thank you, but this is the Letterstream envelopes are permit number printed instead of them stamps on them. Any way to change that? So that's part of that's part of the process, I think. And any way to get rid of those recycled paper logos and save the environment. Printed stuff on the envelopes, they look more like commercial. Letterstream is just so easy. Thanks. Yeah, we'll look into all that. So I
Letterstream.
need to get a current product. I don't have a current one.
Letterstream is, in my opinion, worth the price of the whole darn thing.
You know what? Let's go out there. Hey everyone, we're gonna be back in Scottsdale after this weekend. Jack, let's go say hi to Dave.
Okay.
You know what? This is perfect. Please send us your stuff. Excuse me. Please send Jack at landacademy.com your request for Dave at Letterstream and anything that would make
Yeah,
their
that's
lives
actually a
easier,
good idea,
better.
Joe.
And because then we can, Jack, put together a list and we will literally walk out there and not walk, but we will literally go out there and say hi to Dave. And I need to talk about some stuff anyway
Mm-hmm.
and do it all at the same time. So that is so easy. Michael says he's following up on his. I send a one-page letter to neighbors of the property, yes, that I'm trying to sell. See, this is good. I just pull the surrounding APNs and run it through your neighbor letter process.
Mm-hmm.
Great. Would love that.
Awesome.
Is there any way to see your calendar for deal review first?
Yeah.
Before setting it up?
So yes.
It's always on Wednesdays.
It's always on Wednesday. And then if you click on the link that I provided here, or just, I don't know, there's no way to really, you can't click on it. You know what? Maybe if I put it in here, you can click on it.
No, Parcel Fact's not ready, but they're working on it fast, Michael. And Dennis just got back to the meeting. Where would you get to Letterstream? What we're talking about, Dennis, is send anything that you want, any changes or any tweaks that you need with Letterstream, because Jack and I are going to be in Scottsdale next week for the last 2 weeks of March, and we can talk to him directly.
Parcel Fact, aside from the dashboard that we're all going to get, is the next product to be released. It's completely done. We're just waiting for some tweaks from CoreLogic from a contract standpoint, but it's absolutely, the data's done, the front end's done, the back end's done, all of it. So it will be released very, very, very soon.
Cool.
Within days.
Cool. Jessica.
Parcel Fact is part of Gold, and it is, yes, it's free to Gold members, and it will also be released on a SaaS model, software as a service. If you're not a member and you just want that because you can't find property, but you don't think you need any education, which is fine, I get it. We will release it for a certain price level with that too, that way. Mm-hmm. Or if you want to remain a silver level because you're not ready and you just want access to it, that you can buy it that way too.
Cool. I almost started to say you want to maintain a sober something. Silver. Silver sounded like sober.
If you're a sober member.
That's right.
Unlike Jill and I.
Oh no, this is going south. We're gonna
Class C narcotics level member.
Jack, you cannot do that. All right, here we go. Okay, so and I'm gonna answer Jessica's question and then we're gonna wrap this up. So Jack has requested from my team that we put that on hold as far as a meetup in Scottsdale, but now we have enough people.
Now I feel bad.
I know, you should. You know what? How about this? I could turn it on and turn it off. I could turn it on and see if I have 50 people right away that say, yes, I will definitely come and be there, then we'll do it.
How
And
about if we
then,
say this?
and if there's not
Unless
enough
50
people,
people show up, I
we're
mean,
not
unless
gonna do
50
it.
people book, then we're gonna not do it.
Yeah.
I'm cool with that.
I'm gonna do it at the library, everybody. So if you know where. Oh no, she even had a sitter lined up, Jack, because she knew my date.
Joe.
Sorry. Okay. No, but it's good. We have to meet you in person. She did have a sitter. You know what, Jessica? You should still go out. Tell the family you have a meeting to go to. You don't waste a good
Yeah,
sitter.
do not cancel the sitter. Go to the bar. Go to the bar.
Become a
Never,
non-sober
ever,
member.
ever cancel a sitter. There's
So,
always something else to do.
all right. Okay. Jessica said that you have a great idea. Okay. Anything else you want to add before we call it a day, Jack?
Nope.
All right.
We will see you next time. Next week, we do not send out invitations any longer. Just look on Success Plant or any of the websites in the area, and you'll find out if there is a number. It's always on Zoom, and I'm confident we are going to schedule it from next week on out by just typing in land investors or just land, and you'll be able to get on the call.
Oh, fancy.
See you next week. Thank you.
All right. Thanks.